never end.
Alright, let's get everything. Oh man. That was it? Okay. Yes. That must be it.
Dead end. Lovely. All that for nothing.
Hold on. Don't give up yet.
Yeah, don't give up. The relic contains abundant potential. Its possibilities could benefit not only wizardkind, but the world. But the dark sacrifice involved to realize its intent may be too great. Until we know more, please do not remove this relic.
Sebastian, the relic! Look!
Could it be?
What are you gonna do, dude? Are you gonna really... They said that there's gonna be a dark sacrifice.
The note and rendition of the relic. It matches. This must be where the student left the relic.
I can't believe it. After all this, it lines up. We've really found it.
What do you suppose is meant by the dark sacrifice required to realize the relic's potential?
I have no idea. But we're here for the relic.
I think the dark sacrifice, I mean, like, come on. It means someone has to die. So I want to leave the relic alone.
The note advises to leave the relic alone.
I assure you, we were meant to find this. For Anne's sake.
Someone has to
I'm
die
taking
here.
it. Let's get to Feldcroft. I must keep this relic secret. Especially from my uncle.
Revelio.
I don't know, dude.
Is that ominous?
How did it...
Ominous. The sounds we kept hearing. It was you.
You gave me no choice. I had to follow you. Sebastian, please, leave the relic alone.
Yeah,
I can
I
find
agree.
another way to help Anne.
I'm sorry, Ominous, but I'm taking it.
I have to
No,
agree
you're
with
not.
Omnis on this one.
If you won't put it back, then I will.
Hold on, both of you. Sebastian, please, take a step back.
Fine. But Ominous knows. I won't step back from a fight.
Can't believe this.
How much did you hear?
Everything. I was glad to hear you tell Sebastian to leave the relic. We need to stand together. Convince Sebastian this is wrong.
And if nothing will change his mind?
Something has to. I need your help.
You're right. This seems far riskier than Sebastian realizes.
Good. We're agreed. We don't allow him to leave here with the relic.
I do think we should talk to him, but I fear we won't stop him from taking the relic.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting we negotiate. We allow Sebastian to leave with the relic under one condition. After this, no more.
I feel that's what we agreed to in the scriptorium. I'm being taken for a fool.
You're not, Ominous. This may be the only way to keep your friendship intact. Let's trust him to know what's best.
Fine. If I trust him on this, I'm trusting you too. The dark arts seem harmless until it's too late. Go then. Leave with the relic. I'll not say a word more.
I just
I hope I don't regret this.
Sebastian, we're ready.
What is it? I haven't changed my mind.
Ominous has. Let's go.
What? Ominous?
I'll explain on the way, come on.
Sacrifice, it's obvious. Like, it definitely means that someone has to die.
Well,
and
what happened back there?
honestly, I don't want to die.
Ominous and I found a compromise.
Ominous simply needs a moment with you and he'll change his mind. Is that it?
I told him we ought to give you this chance, that the relic is too important to ignore.
Yeah, more to it than that.
Confringo!
Tell me.
We agree that the relic is needed. You have my word.
We've rid the world of another spider. I can sleep better tonight.
Revelio.
I thought I opened these things.
I never wanted to keep all this from Ominous. He just doesn't understand.
Confringo!
And I didn't want to worry him all over again. As we were leaving, Ominous wouldn't even acknowledge me. That's not like him.
He was troubled, Sebastian.
Yeah.
Even though we agreed to it all, it's been a lot to take in.
I thought he understood. He knew we couldn't give up. All of this is too important. For Anne.
But There's a dark sacrifice. Are you gonna sacrifice yourself? I mean, that's a huge thing to take. Just wait. I feel like Anne's gonna be the actual sacrifice.
This isn't good.
What?
What is it?
Smoke. Over there, by the hamlet.
Oh, someone burned the houses? Ooh. Defend Feldcroft
Feldcroft's in trouble. They're under attack.
Oh god, hold on a second, let me... Okay.
Let's hurry.
Where are they?
Boy! What have you done?
Saved my sister.
With an unforgivable curse. From that damned book, no doubt. Your father would be ashamed. You've gone too far, Sebastian. Stay away from her. From all of us.
What did my uncle expect me to do? The Imperious curse saved Anne's life. That goblin was going to kill her.
You did what you had to do.
If I have to keep proving that to my uncle, I will. He cannot banish me from my own home. From my sister.
It might be best to let him calm down a while. May I speak to him? Perhaps I can help to ease the tension a bit.
You may be right. Very well. Probably best if I get away from here for a while. I'll head back to Hogwarts.
Where is he?
What was he thinking?
Pardon me, Mr. Sallow?
What Sebastian did was inexcusable. You cannot possibly be about to defend him.
And now I'm thinking about it, maybe he did go a little too far.
Sebastian acted rashly, but he acted out of instinct to save Anne.
Out of instinct? With an unforgivable curse? This family does not resort to using dark magic, even against our enemies. What Sebastian did cannot be undone. That you are defending Sebastian's behavior at all tells me everything I need to know. You are as guilty as he is. Sebastian is to come nowhere near Feldcroft, nowhere near Anne. Unforgivable curses are so named for a reason. If I hear that either of you continues down this path, if either of you uses dark magic, I will notify the headmaster immediately. Why, Sebastian?
Did you speak with my uncle?
I wish I had better news about your uncle and Anne.
Well, what did he say?
I'm afraid he wants you nowhere near Feldcroft, nor Anne.
I had to stop that goblin from killing my sister. He had no right to banish me from my own twin. If he thinks banishing me means I'm going to give up on Anne, he's sorely mistaken.
He also said he cannot excuse the use of dark magic in any form, and that if he hears of either of us using it, he'll go straight to Professor Black.
Huh? That relic, dark magic or not, is the key to saving Anne. To reverse that curse. I will not lose Anne for good. I should send the crest to Anne. She'll know that we need to meet.
I'm afraid I don't follow.
Nothing, just a thought. Now I'm more determined than ever to learn what power that relic has.
I shall wait to hear from you then.
Thank you. I very much appreciate you standing by me through all of this.
I mean, I'm your friend,
I'll send you an hour when I have news.
I mean, I'm your friend, but again, this is a little too much, dude. Meet Sebastian by the Overlook. Oh, of course, I slept in the
thought
ground.
my owl might pique your interest.
Sort of.
I came as soon as I could.
I'd been so preoccupied by all that happened with Ominis and the catacomb, not to mention my uncle's reaction, that I'd almost forgotten what it was that struck me about that triptych. This is the view painted on the canvas that was left on it.
That's incredible. You know this area well.
And while I was waiting for you, I scouted around and discovered an abandoned mine nearby, surrounded by Ranrock's loyalists.
Do you think there's a connection to the triptych?
I've no idea, but perhaps they're searching it, the way they did Rookwood Castle and Isidora's Manor. How do we want to handle this?
I'm gonna try to avoid detection as much as possible.
We need to see what they're doing, but let's not draw their attention.
Very well.
And I still have that rune symbol we found on the triptych. If there is a connection, I suspect we'll see that symbol again.
Oh,
after you.
I forgot it's that. Ah. So the triptych, if you guys remember, is... I'm trying to remember. It's, when they... in that secret ground, they found this portrait, but the portrait was missing. It was all ripped up, and then they found this, like, little piece of paper or page or something. That's what they're talking about, the rune symbol. But as I've promised, let's go ahead and do whatever Sebastian's courses are, and
there
we'll
they
go back
are,
to Poppy.
up ahead.
I'll let you lead.
One there.
Let's go, hurry, hurry, hurry.
For better or for worse, we're in.
I was only following.
Wasn't expecting that.
Let's go. I don't know why it didn't work before.
Quietly now.
The world floated back to me as if in a watery haze. How long had I been unconscious? I only remember his eyes. Empty. Empty of sorrow, yes, but also... I recall feeling a sense of euphoria as I watched the pain vanish, but then everything started to turn. When I fell, it must have hit my head. I neither feel nor see a mark, but the pain is throbbing. I can only hope it is not the Black Death. At least he is no longer in pain. Oh,
What do you have there?
A journal entry by Isadora.
Isadora.
Hopefully it will help us unravel more of this mystery.
Confringo.
I don't know. We'll see.
Revelio. Sebastian, I think I found something. A canvas piece.
Brilliant. Our efforts weren't in vain after all. Still, something about this place feels odd.
Check on Sebastian. Alright, where are you? Oh, here you are.
If the triptych led us here to find this bit of canvas, we can probably assume that Isadora Morganach was here.
She seems to have been everywhere.
But if she was using the Undercroft and the cellar beneath her manor in Feldcroft, why would she create this space?
And why hide it behind cryptic rune symbols? And ancient magic that no one but you could see?
Isadora and Percival Rackham, another of the Keepers, could see traces of ancient magic too.
Rackham? I haven't heard his name before.
His are some of the memories I've seen. I don't think he and Isadora saw eye to eye on how this magic should be used.
This is all rather baffling. Let's take the canvas back to the triptych. Perhaps the answers are there. This place is odd, to be sure, but I'm fascinated by it. Now, for the trek back out of here and to Hogwarts.
Unless we can find another passageway to the Undercroft. Let's have a look around.
Use them as a...
Revelio.
Okay. I saw that. It didn't really do anything, so I guess that was supposed to be the magic passageway.
And now for the moment of truth.
It has to fit.
Of course it has to fit.
Please tell me you recognize the location in this bit of canvas.
The good news is I do, in fact.
And the bad news?
We're in for more trouble.
Let me guess, it's your hometown.
I know that coast. Ranrock has taken over a huge mine in the surrounding area.
Oh,
Marienweem has suffered for it. It's as bad as Feldcroft's become. Should we head there now?
We should wait.
Why?
All this time, we've been a step behind Ranrock. I may know someone who could help us get ahead.
Who is that?
Someone who knows Ranrock personally. They asked me not to mention their name to anyone.
A goblin? Tell me I'm wrong. You know goblins cursed my sister to shut her up. Said she should be seen and not heard.
I do, but not all goblins.
Not all goblins what? Have you forgotten Feldcroft? Have you forgotten the mine we just went through?
No, Sebastian, I haven't. You're not listening to me.
Why would I listen to someone so ignorant?
You don't know what you're saying. Take a breath for a moment.
Oh, I know precisely what I'm saying. Unbelievable.
Okay. So I guess that's that with him.
Are you ready to put an end to Harlow?
I guess.
I'm ready to do what's needed to take Harlow down. I know you have a plan.
We must gather information from the friends of Mr. Bickle that Archie and Mrs. Bickle mentioned. Agabus Filbert, Otto Dibble, and Mr. and Mrs. Rabe.
All right.
I suggest that you speak with each of them while I head to the Hogshead. I saw some Ashwinders heading there. And as my mother would never go near the Hogshead, she is less likely to learn of my activities than if I were to wander the village questioning its residents.
That is true, but you're still going to Hogsmeade, and she told you not to go to Hogsmeade. Anywho. Yeah.
Very well.
I already know
I'll
those
speak
answers.
with them. See what I can learn.
I knew I could rely on you. We need to know how they are being blackmailed by Rookwood and Harlow. Meet me here after you have spoken with them. Hopefully, by the time you return, I will be able to move a bit more freely.
Alright. Excuse me. Aha, there she
Oh,
is.
Isco, what have I done?
Mrs. Rabe, I wondered if I might speak with you about Theophilus Harlow. I'm a friend of the Bickles, and I'm trying to gather evidence against him.
Poor Joanna and little Archie. And now Harlow has taken my darling Isco.
What do you mean? Why?
I'm a security guard at Gringotts, and my husband is a curse breaker for them. Harlow approached me about helping him extort my colleagues into giving him treasures from the vaults.
And you declined?
Of course I declined. Repeatedly. I thought they'd given up, until I came home one night and found my husband gone, and a note affixed to my door with a knife. The note stated that I only had a few days to reconsider helping with some banking needs, and that my husband would appreciate it if I acted quickly. But the help Harlow wants is help that I cannot give, and my dearest Isco is paying the price.
Well, I already know this answer. Have you... Probably not. Does the note confirm kidnapping? Of course!
Thank you, Mrs. Rabe. Knowing the lengths that Harlow will go to is helpful, albeit more than disturbing.
Mr. Bickle was trying to help us, but now he's gone. I don't know what to do.
I shall do all I can to get evidence against Harlow, Mrs. Rabe.
Very well. Here's the note I received. You must be careful as well. Please don't put yourself in danger.
Mrs. Rabe, we do hope you will reconsider helping us with our banking needs. We've given you ample time to reach a decision on your own, but we are beginning to lose our patience. We know your husband would appreciate it if you were to see the value in our working together. Shall we expect a response by week's end? Best to keep this between us if you understand our meaning.
Some evidence worth hanging on to.
Thank you. I hope it's not too late.
Now to find Mr. Bickle's other two friends. Should check there.
Please tell me you didn't take it.
Mr. Dibble, may I speak with you? It's about Theophilus Harlow.
I've nothing to say about him. May I interest you in a stunning cravat today?
Please, sir, I would like to help. I spoke to Mrs. Bickle.
You know the Bickles? All right. But we must be discreet. Can't have Mr. Hill hearing this.
I know Mr. Hill. He was kind to me the day of the troll attack.
Oh, he's a good man. But even he wouldn't understand about Harlow. It started a few weeks ago. I was distracted, reading a note, when you-know-who came into the shop. I hid the note behind the counter and offered to help him. He stared at me for a moment, then asked me to check on an order he'd placed. I went into the storeroom to check on what turned out to be a non-existent order. When I returned, he was holding the note.
What was in the note?
It was a note from Rosie Hill, Mr. Hill's daughter. You see, we've been, well, secretly engaged these past 6 months. We haven't told Mr. Hill yet. I dare say he has higher hopes for her. Harlow advised me in no uncertain terms that my relationship with Rosie, not to mention my employment here, depended upon my cooperation.
What did he ask you to do?
It all happened so quickly. In an instant, he took a very expensive scarf from the counter, pocketed it, and smiled. He said, "Your secret is safe as long as I can supply my lady friend with delightful items like this every so often." I've been able to cover for his requests until now with some creative bookkeeping, but I can't keep it up for much longer. I'm terrified to say anything. I could never live without Rosie.
What have you been doing to keep the extortion a secret?
Well, as I mentioned, creative bookkeeping. And I've also been trying to cover the costs with my own savings, but I'm running out of money. Of course, none of this bodes well for my efforts to improve my circumstances and to be worthy of Rosie.
Thank you for telling me. I'm gathering evidence to take Harlow down.
I would love nothing more than to see him rotting in Azkaban, but be careful. He's an awful man and incredibly dangerous. As for Rosie's letter, should you happen upon it, I have committed it to memory. You may destroy it immediately.
Understood.
Almost there, almost there.
Hello there.
Excuse me, Mr. Filbert. I wondered if I might speak with you about your dealings with Theophilus Harlow. I hope to ease Mrs. Bickle's mind by gathering evidence against him.
Tragic, what happened to Bickle. He wanted me to speak out against Harlow for an act of violence committed against me. But I feared Harlow's retaliation, and so I refused.
Well, I mean, everyone's scared of Harlow, so I want to say you were wise, I would say.
You may have shared Mr. Bickle's fate if you had spoken out against Harlow, as he requested.
Unfortunately, I suspect you're right.
You said that Harlow committed an act of violence against you. Could you tell me what happened?
Before my extraordinary wife, Dulcibella, passed away, she had just completed a small book of poetry.
Oh.
As a surprise for her birthday, one she never had the chance to celebrate, I had the book beautifully bound and plated in gold. One day, Harlow came calling to punish me for having spoken out against the Neanderthals that comprise Rookwood's lot. Before I knew it, I'd been petrified, and Harlow was rifling through my home. He found the book of poetry, with its exquisite gold plating. I watched helplessly, lying there in my entranceway as he walked away with the book, laughing as he went. I was shaken to my core. Still am, to be honest.
I imagine you fear Harlow retaliating again. But do you mind if I share this information with Officer Singer?
I suppose I have no choice. This extortion can't go on forever. You can pass it on to anyone who may be willing to help.
I don't know.
Harlow does not like people talking, as you already know.
I've spoken with Mr. Bickle's friends. Now to find Natty.
Good thing the Ministry found them.
Natty must be around here somewhere. Natty's wand. She can cast without it. She wanted me to find this. She's in trouble. Revelio will show me where she was taken. Revelio.
Follow.
Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly.
Wow. In the cellar? Who knew?
Footprints led to this room. Another way forward. Revelio. Accio.
Further.
A hidden door. Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly. Revelio. I'd better be sure I'm not seen.
They don't seem to care for me in a hospital. It's not gonna work. Using that girl as bait. No one's coming for her. We ought to just kill her. Only the Hogwarts would be arrogant enough to come.
Revelio.
Hey. Bishop would have burned your hands off. No, I'm just saying. You don't understand every minute of this. I wouldn't got to be doing the job for it.
I used to be stationed near Irondale with Selwyn.
Ray! I'd say we know who to tell mine to the other. How did I get mixed up in doing Rookwood's work for him?
Look at the other way, lady.
I know that the Hogwarts
The other lady.
there are some trouble. They need to remind them that we're still running things.
That was close. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to move it over there, yeah.
Revelio.
What? I hope Rookwood knows what he's doing. Hey!
Do you remember the first life you took? Lower Hogsfield needs some stocks after our little visit.
Come on, dude. Turn around. Shit. It's really clean
I've
this
been
way.
down on several times. Can't understand.
I don't trust Ranrock, I'll tell you that. He'll turn on us first chance he gets.
Revelio.
Everyone in Upper Hogsfield shudders when they see me come. And rightfully so.
What does that tell us?
I raised Rockford more times than I can
Haha, mine.
Revelio.
himself.
Concentrate. There'll be nothing but trouble. I'll try to lock her up. when we're done here, I'm going straight to the...
Mr. Tell us.
So far, so good.
And so should we hold our
Be on the lookout for the girl's friend. If they're daft enough to try to come through here.
What?
I've robbed every traveling vendor that's passed through here. They never see it coming.
Hey.
I could use a fire whiskey right now.
Oh. Interesting.
How did I get mixed up with doing Rookwood's work for him? I don't want to work with goblins.
nuisance when supplies run low, though.
We should speak to her again. Perhaps she'll tell us where we can find that friend of hers.
She's determined to say nothing. The boss will deal with her when he arrives.
No, you don't have to feel intimidated by my feats. We can't all be as gifted, can we?
The girl's friend won't come looking for her. Too dangerous. We're wasting our time.
I could use a fire whiskey right now.
I have no idea what to do right now.
I've had enough of Belcroft. Hope I never have to see it again. I've used unforgivable curses on occasion. Fortunately, I'm not looking.
I got up to this point, guys. I apologize. It was a long circling around and patiently waiting. You didn't want to see that, to be honest with you guys. Anyway, I found Mr. Wright, and I found his wand. I just don't know where the book of poems are, though.
Mr. Abe, I found your wand.
Well done. I knew it was nearby. Now, you best stand back. One never knows how a curse will react to being broken.
Okay. I don't know how far you want me to stand by, but okay. Oh, there you go. Oh, and then just
Confringo!
I thought this would work.
Thank you, Mr. Isco.
I was trying to light up
My
the room
pleasure.
a little bit.
And thank you, my friend. We owe our lives to your bravery.
Yeah, no worries.
I may be too weak to disapparate with you both,
Revelio.
but I can try.
No, don't worry about
You
it.
go ahead. Find Officer Singer. We will get out of here on our own.
Yeah,
Very
you
well.
go.
But
I'm
be
still
careful.
trying to find this.
Thank you, my young friend.
Be prepared for a fight. These Ashwinders must pay.
Well, give me a second. Let me try to find this book.
Yes, there've been mistakes, but I can't complain.
Book of poems that was taken from Agabus Filbert. He'll be thrilled to have this back.
not worth it.
I've had enough of Felcroft. Hope I never have to see it again.
We're done. We're done. Whew.
Let's find Officer Singer and put an end to Harlow once and for all.
But why Officer Singer? She's not gonna do anything. Honestly, she's not gonna do anything. Oh my god. And who knows, maybe she's part of them.
Natsai Onai. I should have known. And you, the troll dispatcher.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness the two of you are safe. Isco Rabe told me a couple of students had rescued him. Should have known it was you two.
Is Mr. Rabe all right?
He is. I sent him home to his wife. Miss Onai, your mother will not be pleased to learn that you're still risking your safety pursuing these dangerous men.
Actually, Officer Singer, Natty and I learned of several Hogsmeade residents who've had their lives threatened by the Ashwinders. In addition to abducting Mr. Rabe to blackmail his wife and Natty, Rookwood and Harlow have also extorted Agabus Filbert and Otto Dibble.
I will look into all of that. As for the two of you, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you are taking great risk. Next time, please let the authorities handle the Ashwinders.
With all due respect, officer, the authorities haven't done much about any of this.
There's more to taking down an organization like the Ashwinders than simply storming in and hauling them off based on a few accusations.
Few?
I must insist that you leave them to us. We shall have no further discussion on this. Natsai, you may wish to speak with your mother about this before I do.
My mother will not like this. Thank you again for rescuing me. We shall speak soon.
Previously, something about Poppy that I didn't show you guys. After we saved the dragon, Poppy's grandmother got attacked by the poachers because they recognized Poppy. And right now, Poppy is thinking about asking help from the centaurs. I don't think it's gonna work out, to be honest. It's really a waste of time, but let's see what Poppy does.
Is this where we're meeting the centaurs?
Well, they don't exactly know we're coming, so it's less of a meeting and more of a surprise, I suppose.
They're not gonna like this.
I'm not sure about this. I can't imagine they're fond of being surprised.
We don't have a choice if we want to help the Snidgets. Perhaps they'll be able to tell that we're sincere. There's something about them that's so knowing. It's almost unnerving.
And one more thing. Her grandmother, I'm guessing, is some kind of a, I don't want to say zoologist, but something similar to that. And she had a lot of information about an animal called Snidget. And they're extinct. So the poachers now, they have that information, and yeah, that's what she's talking about. I mean, Centaurs are known for being wise, but they don't know any more than the rest of us.
I hope they can tell we're sincere, but Poppy, centaurs are just centaurs. They can't read your mind any better than I could.
Perhaps you're right. It's just... Never mind.
What is it?
It's nothing, truly. We've no secrets to hide.
Speaking of secrets, I do want to tell you why Victor Rookwood's after me. He's working with Ranrock, and Ranrock's after something I found at Gringotts. Fig had a portkey that led us there after the dragon attack. It's a bit of a long story, and Fig asked that I not speak of it yet.
Goodness. Well, that certainly helps explain a bit about what we saw back at Horntail Hall. Of course, I'll guard your secret as if it were my own. Even the centaurs won't know.
We'll simply be honest with them about what we're trying to do. They'll have to help us, won't they?
Yes, of course. You're absolutely right. We'll meet with them, tell them about the Snidgets, and I'm sure it'll all be fine.
You are the talk of the school since you saved Mr. Rayban Eye from the Ashwinder.
Where did that come from? Oh shit. Dude, Natty's voicemail or whatever came about, and then bam, the centaurs. I'm just like, oh shoot.
What do you think you're doing here, humans?
Please! We were hoping to speak with you.
Ah! I suppose you'd like a tale for your friends of the time you spoke to a centaur, and it spoke back.
No, never. We're here because we need your help.
Enough! You made a grave error in judgment in coming here, little witch.
Leave them be, Alec. We do not harm the young. It is not our way.
You forget your place, old fool. I'm the leader of this herd, and while you cling to our way, their kind continue to slaughter beasts like us without a care!
From what I can see, they have slaughtered no one. They will leave here unharmed.
Mark my words, Doran. If I ever see them again, it will be all 3 of your heads.
Foolish children. Do you know what happens to wizards who wander here? Now, follow me before
Golden Snidgets are still alive, and the poachers are after them. They know that the key to finding them lies in the moonlight, but they don't know what that means, yet. Please, help us find the Snidgets before the poachers do.
Could it be? In the south, there is a cave within which lies what the poachers seek. A moonstone. Retrieve it and place it in the henge in the forest. I, on the other hand, must go speak with the herd. Find me after you have done this.
Everyone's chilling.
I don't understand. So the moonlight mentioned in the journal doesn't refer to actual moonlight, but to a moonstone. What do moonstones have to do with Snidgets? And why was he so certain about where we could find one?
I mean, the way how he was so straight on, I trust him.
I don't know, but I am inclined to believe him. What with his being a centaur and all.
I am too. It is a shame how quickly he left. What was his name? Doran.
That's what the leader of the herd called him.
Well, if Doran knows something we don't, I'd rather act now and ask questions later. I can head to the library and start looking into the cave you mentioned.
Now, I have to see, what was Natty saying? Oh. Oh man. Once her mail or voicemail came up, I was just like, what does this have to do with the centaurs? And then that's when the centaurs came. Oh, bad timing.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
Oh. Please don't tell me I'm going to be sleeping there.
Ah, I have been meaning to speak with you.
I still can't believe we escaped the Ashwinders.
You may not realize it, but you are the talk of the school since you saved me that day.
I wonder how everyone knows about it.
I told my mother in the hope that she would be more forgiving of what I have been up to if it came from me. She likely told other professors, and news travels quickly. Unfortunately, she might, in fact, have been even less forgiving than I'd hoped.
I don't blame her for being concerned. We have been involved in some dangerous activities.
As the Ashwinders were locking me up and threatening my life, it did occur to me that my mother may have been right.
Has Officer Singer done anything with the evidence we provided?
She has not. Harlow is as strong as ever. Someone needs to stop him. whether it is us or Officer Singer, if someone had stopped the monsters like him in Matabeleland, my father would be alive today.
What exactly happened to your father?
It was a beautiful day. My mother had gone to tend to a neighbor who was ill, and so my father and I were galloping in the savannah.
Galloping? Your father was also an animagus, I take it?
He could become the most majestic giraffe, and he would carry me on his back, my arms around his neck. We were on our way home when we surprised a group of bandits who had come from our village. One of them saw me just as he removed a scarf from his face. He shouted and then aimed his rifle.
He didn't want you to identify him.
Exactly. In an instant, my father bowed his neck to protect me and was hit. As he fell, my father changed back into his human form. When the bandits saw this, they turned and ran in fear. Magic terrified them, and then he was gone. And it was all my fault.
Your fault? How so?
He died protecting me. If I had been capable of protecting myself, he would still be alive today. My mother and I tried to go on without him, but it became too much for us there. A few years later, we left to come to Scotland.
Do you think taking down the Ashwinders will avenge your father's death?
No. Vengeance is not what drives me. My father would not want that. He and my mother raised me to believe that it is a privilege to be able to fight for those who cannot. I know there is risk involved, but I feel it is worth it. I am glad you seem to think so too.
Do you think your father would approve of the things we've been doing?
Oh my, that is a good question. In theory, yes. Although he would worry as my mother does. But I think he, of all people, would understand my persistence. My father never shied away from a fight for good, no matter how ruthless the foe. And I think he would have enjoyed knowing that I had a compatriot like you.
I'm sorry, Natty. I can't imagine what you've been through. Your father sounds exceptional.
He was. Truly extraordinary. And thank you for your kind words. We all have our burdens. My father had a saying about that.
Yes, I remember. Rain does not fall on one roof alone.
Exactly. Soon you and I will put an end to the Ashwinders, beginning with Harlow. And once he is gone, we will turn our attention to Rookwood. We are making progress, and we will succeed. Thank you again for saving me. You deserve all of the praise you have received.
Wow. Yeah, is there a way I can eat this? Look at that. How come there's more, Ravenclaw, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, and it's just these three and Slytherin. What the hell? I mean, it does look good though. I don't mind eating that.
Welcome back.
Hello, Professor. I have news. The goblins are looking for something. Another repository. They've built drills to help with their search.
Most troubling.
Are these repositories like the broken container I found at Rookwood Castle?
They are. I fear we have no time to lose. Have a look at the map. Fortunately, the next trial is fairly nearby.
It's Hogwarts.
As you know, I was headmistress in my time. My portrait hangs in the headmaster's office. In fact, I witnessed Professor Black learn of your arrival. And I'll confess that I wondered about you.
Wait, is the next trial in the headmaster's office?
It is. I had hoped that when the time came, the occupant of that office would be of help to us. Unfortunately, this headmaster seems wildly unconcerned with anything but himself. You'll need to access the office while he's away.
I understand. Very well. We'll find some way to get in.
Good. I shall meet you in my portrait there. Until then.
How will I gain access?
One thing I love about this game is that it literally tells you things, what not to do, but they still encourage you to do so. It's just fun that way, I guess.